Michael Tebbe with Bright Star Chiropractic, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'm here with Sharda, and we are doing a video about different movements that pregnant women can do during pregnancy. That's any time during pregnancy. It's safe, it's gentle, it's going to help your posture, it's going to help you feel taller, lighter, and it's also going to help open up the body and get it ready for birth. So let's dive in. So the first thing will be rocking. It's just a good idea before you start the video, just kind of check in with your body, see what feels tight, see what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And if your wrists get tired at any point during this, stand up. You can kind of stretch them the other way, just gently. So Sharda has a really good, nice posture, like as in up a little bit. Like she's not collapsing her shoulder blades together, so let your shoulder blades kind of collapse together. Yeah, like that. So push them away. Yeah, just got the chest nice and open. And then what you're going to be doing is just rocking back and forth. Slowly work up to like 21 repetitions. And I'll have her switch in a minute. But yeah, so she's at 3 now. So this is helping remind your body. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing is stuff that we did as babies to start learning how to move. So this is part of how we start. Before we start crawling, we rock. And it's teaching us how to coordinate our shoulders, our hips, knees, ankles, wrists. It helps our posture. You'll feel taller after doing this. It also is a nice way to relax the low back. And you're feeling. Now spin 90 degrees. Yeah. So then she has 2 different choices. She can keep her toes curled. Just one thing, I would recommend that because most of us, our feet are tight, stretching the feet out like that. Yeah, so now she's getting a nice stretch to the bottom of her foot, which is good because you're getting the swelling of the calves and ankles. And stretching like this will help move some of that fluid through. But the other option is just laying the feet flat. You know, that's good too. Do whatever feels good for you. So now after doing 21 of these, then you can transition to like a kickstand rocking or adductor rocking. So kick this leg out. And we'll show this from both angles so you can see it. I wouldn't even go quite that deep, probably a little bit less. Yeah, here. And you feel that all on the inner thigh. So she just saw a pelvic floor specialist yesterday, and they were talking about wanting to open up the adductors, this inner thigh here. Because to have a healthy pelvic floor, we need to have a healthy pelvis, and we can have a healthy pelvis by making sure that our hips are open. So you want to do, if you want to break it up, do 11-11 each side, or 21-21 each side. You can't really like overdo this stuff. Spin 90 degrees and then do it on the other leg so you're balanced out. Again. Okay. So it's good to pay attention. She said this side's tighter. Pay attention to those imbalances. Nice. And just don't push into pain. Just kind of go to the edge of where it's tight and then come back. It's the repetition of the stuff and over then, you know, it slowly starts to open everything up. Feel that. Now we're going to transition to another one, which will be is also good. This kind of opens up more your hamstrings. Yeah, so the foot rocking. Very good. So I showed her this in the office. Yep, there you go.
Right.
Almost.
Yeah.
Foot a little bit closer. And you rock forward and let the knee come down.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So sometimes you have to play with your foot, play with your hand placement. There you go.
Yeah.
To get into the right position. And as she sits back, she can kind of feel a nice stretch. You kind of show them where you feel that stretch.
Like back here.
In the back.
Yeah.
And then also you should be feeling it
Yeah.
kind of where the hamstring
Yeah.
connects into your pelvis
Yeah.
here. So again, this is also good for the pelvic floor. Through all of these, swallow, let your tongue rest where it goes, which is kind of, this should be on the roof of your mouth, and breathing in and out through the nose. So we're trying to breathe into the rib cage here. I know definitely late stage pregnancy, babies shoved way up into your diaphragm breathing muscles, so that's kind of displaced, but you know, do the best you can with the breathing. Again, with swollen feet, this will feel, it's going to feel stiff, but it'll also feel nice because it's going to help pump some of that fluid out. Now, let's spin face that way, bring this leg up so you guys can see it from both angles. Yeah, and try to back up. So yeah, you're going to have to do the same thing when you do this. You have to figure out where you need to put your foot. You just keep moving it around. There we go. Back, so let the belly hang out a little bit, but also keep your chest up. And one other thing you can play with too is kind of pushing the knee at different angles. Like push it more in. I'll kind of show what I'm talking about too. You can push it more in, let it go in more, you can let it go out more. So you can work the feet from different angles. Yeah. This is also good for our feet, since something I see a lot is people are developing bunions in their big toes. Right that much. Rock it forward. Keep the foot in the same place and then rock out a little bit, so you kind of rock over those toes and roll in a little bit. Obviously, this is bothering your big toe, don't go that deep. You know, if it comes right, it's like here, and that's where your big toe or your toes want to stop, let's just stop there. You don't need to force the stuff. Shiraz started as an athlete, she's been a runner since like 9 years old, so she's really used her body a lot, so she can do a lot of movements, but you know, respect where your body is. You're going to get benefit anyway, even if you just do half of what she's doing. As long as you're doing it, it's going to help open up your body. So those are the rocking ones, and then we can transition from there. Again, if your wrists get tired, take a break, gently push it. Wrist like that. How are your wrists doing?
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Not too bad.
And you can also be pushing them like that. Keep your elbows even. Stretch it out. So with this one, because we're not going to be, you can be on your fist if that's more comfortable. So now we're going to be moving the head. So reading with the eyes, both directions. So I'm looking up with the eyes first, and my head follows. Look down with the eyes, and then head follows. So this helps like get them, release tension in the neck. It also, as we move our neck has like tons of nerve endings, receptors in it, because we are constantly having to put our eyes towards whatever we're doing in life. So the more we keep our neck moving, it gives our brain a lot of good feedback, and it also lets the neck stay more relaxed. So, you know, if you've been at the computer working, this is a great way to just take a break and get some movement back in. And the benefit also of these movements is it actually gives you energy. Like you feel better, especially if you've been sitting a lot and then you get up and do all this stuff. You'll feel refreshed, you'll feel calm, because movement, our brain loves it. Humans have been moving forever. And there's a lot of really great research about how much movement helps the brain. And then from there, she's going to try to look into her back pocket. Really let that whole spine twist. Yeah. Yeah, good. Again, leading with the eyes. Now she's getting, show you from the back. see how much fine motion happens there. It feels really, it's good to get your whole mid-back moving like that. And all this stuff too is if you're trying to help baby have more space, if you're trying to get baby to move around, then let's get this kind of movement in here. And even though it is fatiguing and it can be tiring on the wrists, all this stuff of letting the belly just be suspended, that's also, there's no gravity for babies. The gravity the baby's feeling is totally different. So baby can have more space in there to move around. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. So again, you want to do ideally like 21 repetitions. If you want to do more, do more. But that's a good starting place. So then from here, one thing that's really common complaint during pregnancy is from all the side sleeping, especially later on in pregnancy, a lot of tension developing through the hips here. And what has been helpful for a lot of my patients is doing some kind of like getting some twisting in. Again, we're not forcing the twisting, it's all gentle. But doing some stuff like this will help just move all this side stuff so that at night you feel more comfortable sleeping. So one of the ways we're going to do that is again hands and knees, and then you're just threading the needle, kind of trying to reach through, and then rotate. That's great. Yeah, good. So again, do what you feel comfortable with. Charlotte's doing a really great job of keeping her shoulder strong, so she's not coming in and just like it's totally collapsing. So you can see my shoulder blade. Like you kind of keep push through, push the elbow through. And if you want to make it a little easier, less weight on the arms, you just kind of sit back into the hips a little bit more. Yeah. Now there's less weight on your arms, right? It's just easier to control. The downside is you can't twist as much.
Don't have as much room.
Yeah. It feels good to like open up the ribs some, because those lower ribs, in another video we showed how to use a massage gun for releasing the ribs through here. But this rotation is one of the ways to get those ribs moving. So then that lets the belly feel more comfortable. I don't know from experience, from what you have told me. Great. Yeah, and if it's easier just to like, instead of counting, just set timers. You can do this for a minute. Don't worry about side to side. It's often what I do because I lose track when I'm counting. So that's really good. Well, let's give the wrists a break and then transition into like windshield wipers or 90-90s. They call it 90-90 because ideally you're keeping your knee at 90 degrees and then your ankle too. You just kind of sit like that. We're still going to be using our hands. Sit and then just literally let them roll. Just twist on every side. Yeah.
Favorite.
Yeah.
Down or
No, keep more straight up. And yeah, you can like hang out and then do a stretch or just keep moving. So now this is also really good for the pelvic floor, for pelvic health, because now we're putting our hips, making them rotate. Like walking, you don't rotate your hips. Most of the stuff that we do in daily life doesn't involve any kind of rotating the hips like this, putting them from internal rotation to external rotation. And also use your back hand, reach through. Yeah, being mindful, you don't want to overstretch either. Do what feels right in your body. And some other options, just doing like a minute of this.
Keep going.
Yeah. You just kind of pivot it off your, you just kind of pivot off your heel. Shift your hips a little bit. Yeah, I love doing this. It feels so good. So now, facing that way. So, if you study yoga, you know, like the bird dog. This is just a very slight modification of it. You still want to do this one? Go ahead. But this one just involves bringing the arm back. So go ahead.
Opposite?
Opposite, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This.
Yeah. And you can look over your shoulder like she is, or you can just look straight ahead. Either one of those works. Get out of the way so you can see her. Again. So one thing you want to be mindful of here, push through, hold on, both feet on the line. Every time you can kind of reset, like push the shoulder blades. Yeah, and let the belly hang, but keep the upper back strong. So we don't want our shoulder blades coming up towards our ears, being collapsed. Because later on, with holding baby, nursing, bottle feeding, you know, we get a lot of this kind of rolled forward posture. So doing this kind of thing will help develop more strength in the shoulders to help maintain a stronger posture. So you can do this up to like 2-3 minutes. I had one patient who was getting a lot of hip pain at night. Like she'd sleep 2 hours and then have to wake up. And so I did a couple sessions for her, and she would feel better after the session, but then the same thing would keep happening at night. So doing this for that patient, really, if she did this before bed, she got like 6 hours of sleep in, and then she could just, if her hips started bothering her, she'd get up and do this a little bit, and then she'd be able to go back to bed. So her sleep quality improved a lot. So doing this kind of stuff, this is more kind of tying the body together, not necessarily a stretch, but giving that feedback into the brain helps it keep everything more connected, and that helps prevent pain, which is a really good thing. Yeah, give your wrists a break. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that for a minute, 2 minutes. You know, if you're still working, it's a great little like break you can take from sitting.
Yeah.
Just do like a minute of it, and then you can get back to work and make your body feel better. So another really good one is crawling, especially if you're trying to get baby to shift positions. Maybe rotate out of sunny side up, maybe get head down. So just literally crawl like a baby. It's gonna feel a little awkward at first. Yeah, Charlotte's doing it right. It's opposite hand and leg. Crawling is helps the brain because you're moving opposite sides of the body. But also, if you watch her pelvis as she's doing that, look at how much it's moving. Walking, your pelvis moves a lot too, but what's different is gravity. So now her torso is even with gravity, like the earth. Whereas if she's upright, that changes things too. Yeah, you can look around. So you can also make it just like fun. If you have enough soft floors around the house, you can just literally crawl around the house. So, you know, you can start kind of making a diamond pattern. Yeah, perfect. And then kind of diamond over to this way. Start over
like this.
And you can also just crawl in a circle like that. So whatever sounds fun, give other kids at home, they can do it with you. That's perfect.
Keep crawling.
You can crawl side to side. Side to side. And you can just go side to side.
Opposite.
Yeah. And notice how she's moving. As her right knee moves, the left hand moves. And vice versa. So it's always opposite. Yeah, that's great. So this can just be a fun thing to do. Again, it feels good, right?
It's a different movement that it opens up.
So another thing, and this is more just can be a nice way to start it, just practicing some breathing. So facing that way, hands and knees. Again, this is a nice position. Breathing can get hard. Like we said, baby's pushing up in the diaphragm, especially when you're just sitting. You hear a lot of babies kind of hanging down. This is going to make breathing a little bit easier. Again, stay strong in the shoulders, so push the shoulders around your rib cage. Reach like that. No, just like you are. Yeah. And then just kind of breathe into these ribs here. You don't have to breathe deep per se. Again, letting the tongue resting over the mouth. And this also, the diaphragm breathing is also really good for our pelvic floor. Because as our diaphragm pushes down, our pelvic floor stretches them and they start dancing together. And obviously these change them, this baby sitting inside of this your whole abdomen here. But that will help keep the pelvic floor. Because oftentimes we've heard that we need to strengthen our pelvic floor. Oftentimes it's actually not the case. It's actually tight and it needs to loosen. I remember, I'll post a link. There's a woman who did her name is Rena Malik, and she did a whole 2-hour podcast about pelvic health, pelvic floor health. Again, every once in a while, Shiraj's getting tired. Stardust getting tired, sorry. And, you need to sink back in here, back a little bit, and stay there, and then breathe a little bit here too. Makes it more harder to breathe in and lower down. All those movements. Stand up and walk around after doing this.
Floating.
And you come back and report. So I led a class in here at Kindred Space a couple weeks ago. And one of the women, after going through a lot of these movements, her hips were really stiff.
Yeah.
I had to help her get up off the floor. And after we went through all these movements, and she was able to get up off the floor by herself.
Yeah. I mean, I feel lighter. Just not as stiff and sticky.
Yeah.
Almost the muscles, but I feel great.
So again, this is something that can be done all the way through. We're just gonna quick pause and then show something else that you can do standing, which is also a good little break. Okay, so now we're continuing for standing stuff that can be done. So the first one is going to be, just watch for a second, marching backwards and then reaching back and touching the opposite leg. This one takes a little bit of practice.
Arms first.
Arms first. And then kind of reach. Even if you don't even touch that back foot, you can just go with the intention of, perfect. This is good. It's helping you balance. Helps open up the shoulders and step backwards. I recommend doing this 2-3 minutes. She's coordinated. She's good strength, so it's too hard. But at first, some people are they want to reach back and touch the same side. Do opposite leg. Play around, making it slow. helps us. Let's release. Well, that's it. Yeah, like 2-3 minutes. Feels good in the shoulders on. This is also getting some of that rotation in, general rotation, that will help with that tension in the hips. And we're going to reverse it. So the easy way is just like doing like a tap like that. Yeah. Let that back arm swing a little bit. You're just getting some of that twisting in the back, and also more like sprinting warm-ups. Hips and arms moving. And this will get your, this will make you start breathing hard. After you do it for like a minute. That'll make you start sweating. And then you can also like do like nice big arm circles. Great. This is helping connect both sides of the brain. Also mimicking how we walk. It's just like a crawling. It's moving opposite arms and legs together. So play around with these. You can do the whole video at once. I don't know how long we've been shooting. It's probably like 15-20 minutes. You can just take each little piece and break it up, and then just do it out throughout the day. Do like a minute and a half each thing, and by the end of the day, you've gotten 20 minutes of movement, and you've also given yourself lots of breaks from sitting, and just taking little movement pauses, and it'll just keep you feeling really good. Yeah, and it does. It really does. And partners, I recommend you do this as well.
Yes.
It feels really good.
Yes.
And this is stuff that's part of my daily routine. And yeah, the benefits of it has just been feel the difference in your posture. It helps you feel stronger and also lighter. Mentally, it just makes you feel more calm too. All right. Thank you. And if you like the video, please like it. If you like the channel, please subscribe. Thank you, Sharada, for joining us today.
Of course.
And thank you, Kindred Space, for hosting us.